Round one of the real money dividend battle is here. It's going to be SCHD versus SPYI, where I put $5,000 in each. Every dividend will be reinvested, and every new contribution will be split evenly. SCHD brings dividend growth, while SPYI brings high monthly income. All right, let's get into it.
Just granted.
To start the competition, SCHD and SPYI are starting at $5,000, and it'll really be exciting to watch these two ETFs battle it out through all these episodes to really see who comes on top. But what about the dividend income? So for transparency, I am currently recording this one day before the SCHD payday, but we all know the dividend for this quarter is about 25 cents per share, so I'll factor that into the numbers. And with that said, let's look at the dividends received for this month. SPYI ended up paying a whopping $50.38, which bought almost an entire share and increased the position's estimated monthly income by about 50 cents. I've never had a high yielder before, so seeing this payment come in was pretty wild, and I'm not gonna lie, it's also pretty enticing. And with a massive yield of 12.05% at the time of this recording, I can see how addicting these high paying ETFs can be. SCHD paid $39.75, which bought a little more than a share and increased the position's estimated average monthly income by about 10 cents. As we can see, SCHD's payment is significantly smaller than SPYI's, and that's to be expected with a yield of 3.46%. But what'll be interesting is watching how fast these payments grow with its amazing 8.68% dividend growth rate. And I know a lot of people were slightly disappointed by SCHD's payment for the quarter, and for me, it's kind of small potatoes because ultimately what we're going to see from SCHD is going to be solid annual growth, which will more than likely grow like larger and faster than last year. So overall, I'm not too worried about it, and I don't think you guys should be either. Of course, this is not personalized financial advice, so just take all that with a grain of salt. So for dividend income so far, the winner is SPYI, and just for fun, the total combined dividends received so far is $90.13, which is pretty cool if you ask me. That's a pretty healthy amount of money for just a $10,000 investment. But let's talk about where the monthly average dividend is sitting right now. So for SCHD, the average monthly dividend income is sitting at $13.91, while SPYI's estimated monthly dividend is around $50.65, and that can fluctuate. It is a covered call ETF, so I don't expect it to be consistent every single time, but I do expect it to be somewhere around that number. So we'll see. Either way, that's a pretty huge gap, and it'll be interesting to see the growth between the two funds. And I think this will end up being pretty a pretty big focal point for all of the remaining episodes. So yes, this round is probably going to be an easy win for SPYI on income, but the bigger question is whether SCHD's dividend growth and subsequently total return can end up closing that gap over time. And speaking of total return, let's see how the two ETFs stack up. Keep in mind this competition is still in the early stages and the two ETFs have had a rough start since the market's been red for the most part. But this is where we're sitting so far. SCHD's total return since starting this experiment is at negative 0.25%, and SPYI's total return has been about minus 1.5%. And as you can see, both ETFs have had a rough go since SCHD really hasn't had a chance to move much since reconstitution, and SPYI is tied to the S&P 500 with a capped upside. So unfortunately, with all of the negativity regarding AI and the chaos with Iran and its impact on oil and gas, it's been lagging. But that's pretty understandable, really. And so for a monthly total return, the winner is going to be SCHD. And this one did catch me a little bit by surprise. If I'm being honest here, I think it'll still be exciting to watch what happens, over the next month and beyond with these ETFs. And I think there will be some good months where these two ETFs are relatively even, but I do expect over some time SCHD to come up and grow a little bit faster than SPY. But that's just my prediction. So please leave your prediction down in the comments down below. Any kind of input is kind of cool to see, and I'll take a look at it. Anyway, SCHD and SPYI's individual total return won't be included this go around. And my reasoning is since that this is the first month of the experiment, these numbers match the monthly total return, so we won't really score this one out. It doesn't make any sense to. But for future videos, I'm absolutely going to be including that in the scoring. because I think the cumulative total return is going to be important, not only for the experiment, but for you as an investor if you're looking to get into any one of these individual funds. So let's take a look at the scorecard and see where these two ETFs stand. For the dividend income, SPYI takes the category with its $50.38 dividend payment, and that's over the massive quarterly SCHD payment of $39.75. The last category that I'm going to score on this month is, of course, going to be total return, and this one goes to SCHD. SCHD was the best of the worst ETFs this month and squeaks out a win with a negative 0.25 total return over SPYI's negative 1.5% total return. So, with all that said, this first month ends in a tie. Of course it does. But I hope to see a better showing next month as we add in more categories and we really see these two funds mature a bit. So, anyway, what do you think? Leave me a comment down below and then let me know which ETF you like more. Are you Team SCHD in the dividend growth camp, or do you prefer Team SPYI with those juicy monthly distributions? Or are you just not quite sure yet? Either way, I look forward to hearing from you. So please leave those comments down below. And if you like the content so far, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. We're at 10 subscribers as of making this video, but I think we can definitely hit probably 20 by August. So we'll see how that goes. And if you are part of the 10 subscribers that have supported this channel, thank you so much. It really does help motivate me to keep making more content. As always, until next time, stay consistent, stay invested, and build your future one divvy at a time. See you next week. Bye.